Okay, so OnePlus is trying something new. We just got our hands on the new OnePlus N6 and honestly we were so excited that we just had to show this thing to you guys. Now this is a pretty interesting phone because this is OnePlus's first N-series device in India, and from what we've seen so far, it's very different from the kind of phones OnePlus usually makes. Now unfortunately, a lot of stuff is still under embargo, so there are certain things that we simply can't talk about right now. But from the looks of it and based on where this phone seems to fit, we are expecting a price somewhere around 22 to 25,000 rupees mark, maybe even lower. And if that happens, OnePlus could have something very interesting on its hands. But first, let's open this box. Now the box itself looks very familiar, very Nord-like, same bright colors, same overall vibe. But here's the interesting bit. There is absolutely no Nord branding anywhere. So either OnePlus is creating an entirely new series or they are doing something different with the branding. We'll know more soon enough. Anyway, opening the box, the first thing we get is this little cardboard envelope. Inside, you get your paperwork, quick guide, warranty information, and this green silicone case. And I actually quite like this. It's soft, feels nice in the hand, and it's always nice when brands save you from immediately having to buy a case. Then we have the phone itself. We'll come back to that in a second. Digging further in the box, we get the SIM ejector tool, a 45-watt SuperVOOC charger, and of course, the iconic red USB-A to USB-C cable. Now, let's take a look at the phone. Our unit comes in this fresh mint color, and I have to say, it looks quite nice. The overall design follows the same flat-sided look that we've been seeing on recent OnePlus phones. Flat frame, flat back, rounded corners. Nothing flashy, but it looks neat. As for the buttons, they feel tactile, nice and clicky. Everything is where you'd expect it to be. Volume rocker and power button on the right, and at the bottom, you've got the USB-C port, speaker grill and SIM tray. And surprisingly, the SIM tray also supports microSD cards. That's something we don't see very often these days, not even on budget devices. One thing that's missing though, no headphone jack. Now before we talk about how this thing feels, there's one number I can reveal. This phone packs an 8000 mAh battery. 8000 mAh. That's massive. And when you hear a number like that, you'd expect the phone to feel like a brick. But surprisingly, it doesn't. I mean sure, it's a big phone, but it doesn't feel ridiculously heavy. Our unit of the N6 weighs 225 grams and is a bit chunky, measuring 8.9 millimeters. And I think that's because OnePlus has gone with plastic pretty much everywhere. Plastic frame, plastic back. Even the camera model looks metallic but feels like plastic. It's a squarish model with what seems to be two distinct cutouts for the cameras, along with a pill-shaped cutout for the flash. Now normally I'd complain about such a plasticky build, but honestly I don't think premium is what OnePlus is chasing here. The goal seems to be practicality and durability, because while it may not feel expensive, it does feel solid, like properly solid. The kind of phone you can chuck around and even throw into backpack every day and not worry too much about. There's reinforced corners, extra drop protection, internal cushioning, and a bunch of other engineering terms that basically translate to this thing should survive a few accidents. Let's flip it around. And immediately you'll notice the bezels, especially that chin. It's not exactly hiding the fact that this is a budget device, but honestly, that's fine. Because the display itself actually looks pretty decent. It's a 6.8-inch HD Plus panel with 120Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 1200 nits. Now again, because of embargoes, I can't reveal everything. Scrolling feels smooth, colors look nice, and the viewing angles are also decent. Performance is another area where my lips are sealed for now, again because of embargoes. So I can't tell you what's powering this thing. But what I can tell you is that so far, day-to-day usage has been smooth. Obviously, it's running on Oxygen OS 16. Also, OnePlus is promising 5 years of buttery smooth experience. Apps open quickly, animations feel responsive, and nothing has really felt sluggish. But we'll save all the benchmarks, gaming tests, and thermal testing for the full review. So make sure you're subscribed for that. Now, let's circle back to the 8000 mAh battery. Because honestly, that's the star of the show. OnePlus claims you can get up to 3 days of battery life out of this thing. 3 days. Now we've only had limited time with the phone so far, but early signs are looking pretty promising. The phone supports 45 watt of SuperVOOC charging, and OnePlus includes that 45 watt charger in the box. So at least you won't need to spend extra money buying one. Now, of course, with an 8000 mAh battery, charging isn't going to be lightning fast. OnePlus, however, claims that just a quick 5-minute charge is enough for 1.7 hours of video playback. So our battery and charging test will surely be interesting. OnePlus also claims that after 7 years of rigorous usage, the battery will retain 80% of its health. Anyway, that's our first look at the OnePlus N6, and from what we've seen so far, this is shaping up to be a pretty interesting budget smartphone. A huge battery, a focus on durability, and a very different approach from what we've come to expect from OnePlus. The big question now is pricing. Because if OnePlus gets that right, this could end up being a very compelling option. We'll find out everything on June 30th when the phone officially launches. Until then, let us know what do you think of the OnePlus N6. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.